you're feeling that. And I wanted to gently remind you that you're thinking about it too obsessively. And you're placing a scheduled arrival of your understanding that you don't know when it's going to happen for you. But you have to free up that possibility for you to have it happen whenever it's supposed to happen. As long as you're diligent and you apply yourself every single day, even if it's just 30 minutes a day, studying, looking at what the price is already done, but specifically studying when it did it, on what day it did it, on what week of the month, of what year, 12 months, what months are real active. When I listened to Larry Williams in his course, he mentioned this day of week. And I'm like, this guy's got it down like that. No wonder he turned $10,000 into $2.2 million. You heard that right? He just got hurt and dropped down and drawdown, but ended it with over $1 million for the year. So I was thinking to myself, if he's got it figured out like that, he's got himself to a position of control over himself. Now, maybe if you listen to him and when he's been honest and he came out and said, look, it was real hard to be around him that year in 1987 because he was focused. He was really dialed in. He had no time to be, talking with anybody else, even his family members. And I'm sure I can relate to that because in my 20s, that's how it was every single day. Every single day, I felt like I was in the Robbins Cup and I was only trading with a $1,500 account. I was trying my hardest to do it on a credit card loan. And you guys got it made, man. $100 here, less than, and you can have the imaginary $50,000 funded account. Come on, man. You have all the advantages, but you're placing so much emphasis on being there right now, so fast, it's unrealistic. And when you can't fulfill that, you can't live up to that, you start beating yourself up. Even if you don't journal, you're talking to yourself while you're driving, you're talking to yourself in the shower. Man, I'm so stupid. Why'd I do that? Isn't it amazing how after you lose, after you blow an account, you start thinking how great that trading system would have been if you just would have followed it? Like, I did all those things, built up this plan. This is what I was going to do. And then I did everything but that, lost money. And now you really love the trading plan. It's like a girlfriend or a boyfriend that you didn't really appreciate when they were with you. But when they're gone, absence makes the heart grow fonder. And I went through this cycle over and over again, looping. And I said, you know what? The problem is I'm not on time. I'm never on time. So I have to be acclimated to when the market is going to do something. So it was very amazing, astonishing, revelation for me to go through time-based studies and see that there's this repeating thing that happens all the time. All the time. It does these things over and over and over again. So when I sat down, I thought to myself, I'm going to make a market where I can codify, where I don't have to think about it. I don't need to think about it. I'm going to codify PD arrays that tell me exactly when I'm going to do something because I know the market's likely to deliver a specific type of price run at that specific time, up to a very specific time. Now think about it. If you knew the 3-digit number on the lottery was likely, not perfectly, but likely to give you 808, I'm just using it because it's my birthday. If it's likely to do that in this month of the year, are you going to play that 808 number every single week and day outside of that? No, of course not. You're going to do it when it's seasonally apt to deliver it. Are you going to be, as a card counter or a professional poker, are you going to play a table where the shoe of cards gets cold? You're not going to do that. You're going to get up and walk away. What are they doing? They're getting in sync with time. The time of that synchronicity of how those cards are going to come out and how every other card player at the table is going to play them. You think about it. You do these things in your own personal life. You only want to spend time watching the games that you have an affinity for, the teams that you care about. There's lots of games on the weekend, all kinds of sports. But you're only going to plop your rear end down and vegetate on that couch when your team's playing. Doesn't matter who they're playing. And ladies, there's all kinds of TV shows on. All kinds of TV shows on. But your story, your program that you want to keep up with, because the girls at work or the girls at your clique, they keep up with that too. So you want to make sure you're constantly invested in that, so that way you're not outside the loop when we're having conversations at the water cooler. You're on time. But when we get into trading, and then we're not prodded to do these types of things, what happens is we lose sight of it. And we chase every red herring that's out there. By every charlatan that's waving a banner saying, come at my Telegram, come at my Discord, come join my mentorship, follow my signals, follow my methodology. Because you think that's the easiest, fastest route to getting to make money. When it's not. You're just putting yourself further and further behind. When I stopped and I said to myself, okay, listen, I'm only looking at daily charts and 1 hour charts. That was my perspective. I didn't look at anything less than an hourly chart. I couldn't do anything with less than an hourly chart. I wasted so much time chasing things that led me no closer to being profitable or ever consistent. But I kept telling myself, doing these things will get it, and it never did. Until I woke up and listened to the advice that I felt God tell me to say, look in the charts for when it continuously repeats these types of things. Look here. Look here. That's what I heard. Sometimes it was audible. Sometimes it was inside my spirit. Like sometimes it was my own internal voice. And it sounds crazy if you don't have any faith in him, but that's how it worked. That's how it happened. And I started looking for price runs that would occur at the open at 9:30 for S&P. When the currencies would open up, I traded currency futures, not Forex. I didn't really gravitate to full Forex until 2006. I traded Forex a little bit earlier than that, but I didn't touch it completely and 100% leave everything behind until 2006. But I was a futures trader, a commodity trader in the beginning. And I got real comfortable trading currency futures. Deutschmark, Swiss franc, yen. I loved the yen back then. I hate yen now. British pound, Canadian dollar, all that stuff. All the com dolls. And I loved them because they had a gap opening every single day. Every single day. And you've seen what we've been doing with index futures with gaps, right? Apply that same logic to currency futures. Not Forex, currency futures. And you'll see similar things are there. There's a price run that always took place at a very specific time trading bonds. And once I discovered that, I locked onto that and said, I don't care about currency futures. I'm a bond trader. I'm a bond trader. Because I saw something in that market first as it relates to time. And I said, well, now I didn't know right away. It was months and months in the first year of me doing it. I was like, wait a minute. I'm talking to my uncle and I'm telling him, I said, Uncle Stan, like I got something in bonds. It's just so good. But I'm afraid to talk about it because I'm afraid if I talk about it, I'm going to jinx it. And he's already proven it at that time. He's not interested in listening to me. You can see he wants to be a contrarian. I'm buzzing on this idea that I got something that nobody else has talked about. No one else talks about this. I was even afraid to ask Larry Williams by writing to him and saying, listen, because I was like, maybe he doesn't know. And if it's really, really good, he'll treat it like he did with the turtle stuff and he'll teach it. I didn't want to share it with anybody. I was like, this is so good. I don't want to share it with no one. And I said, you know what? Let me see if I can start doing that same thing in my previous favorite markets, the currency futures. Wouldn't you know it? It's right there too. And I'm like, what in the world? How did this escape me? All this time I'm looking at 50-day moving averages and stochastics, 5 by 3 by 3 smooth on a Williams percent R and stochastic when they agreed it was overbought, oversold, but the divergence occurred in one or the other. It doesn't matter. Both of them didn't have to diverge for me. But when they were oversold and one of them diverged bullishly, the next day I'm waiting for the open and I'm waiting for it to go down below the opening, and I'm going to buy it on a stop as it goes back above the opening price. That was my methodology then. That was the very first inner circle trader. This is my step by step. I'm not thinking about it. I had to have a mechanism like that to get me in, because I couldn't be in front of the phone constantly, call the orders in. So I had to put resting orders in, but I had to get that opening price, and I could get that on the Quotrek. As soon as it popped up on the screen, boom, I got my opening price, and then I watched and see if it started trading lower. If it went lower when I was looking to go long the next day, and the next day is what I'm looking at in the charts, not the charts, on the Quotrek, with my truck, I would already have the phone number from my broker in my hand, running to the payphone, because that's how we did things back then. I had to have quarters in my pocket, run to the payphone, or if I'd run into an office building and I was doing the delivery for the snacks and cakes and whatnot, I would ask somebody, look, can I borrow your phone real quick? I got to call the office. And yes, I was lying back then, okay? But I was desperate. I had to get the orders in. So I'd call, had to wait for them to answer the phone. Lynn Waldock. Yes, H-Desk, please. Oh, 1 second. The whole time the market's moving around. Imagine doing this today with the volatility. It's nerve-wracking. But you place your order, buy on a stop above the opening price. Stop loss is, back then I could tell the broker, whatever the low was, that's where I want my stop, one tick below that. That was my mechanism. I could only afford one contract. I was trading mid-AMs, which is kind of like the equivalent of a half a contract for today. Like we have mini, and then we have micros, which is 1/10. Well, back then, we could trade mid-AMs, which were like half the size of a full-size contract. And then I'd watch and stress about it all day long. And in the last part of the day, it would flurry and move in my direction. And when I was right, and I was like, yes! Woo! Do my Ric Flair strut, coming out of the truck, getting into a new office building to get my inventory. I got to fill back up in the machine. It was fun. It was fun when I was winning. When I was losing, it sucked. Because when I lost, I felt like I wanted to throw everything away. But the time-based aspects of what I was doing right, that has never, ever escaped me. I've never turned my back away from that. I've had entry strategies I created for myself, and I've abandoned them. I've had full-blown trading plans that I've abandoned.